Let me guess. You keep getting faked out, right? You keep drawing your structure as high, low, high, low, high. Okay. You then put your low here. You're looking for buys. You're getting excited. Boom. What happens? Price stops you out. And then, even worse, after stopping you out, you then think, okay, this is a shift. I could start maybe looking for a short in here. We've got a market structure shift, change the character, boom, boom. Let me target lower prices. This goes against you. You feel lost, you don't know what to do. Watch this video because this one simple trick I'm going to show you is going to show you how to time this perfectly, stay on the right side, and by the end, you're going to be learning to catch trades like this instead. So let's get straight into it. So there's two things, okay? There's two things, I'll even write it down, that you need to focus on. Small zones, premium, and discount. This is the easiest way I can simplify it for you without overcomplicating it, without going into like crazy explanation as to why price does what it does and how to stay on the right side of the structure. And what did I mean by that? So first, when we have zones like this, and we have a smaller zone, so you can see that this high to high, this high to low, is a decent size zone. This high to low is a small zone. Do not include this as part of your market structure. So do not draw structure as high, low, high, low, high. Instead, simply draw structure as high, low, high, high. This small zone, I promise you, more often than not, it is just liquidity. Liquidity for price to come into here and then push higher. Now let's do a downtrend example. We have a big breaker structure here. Boom, to boom. A lot of people then mark their structure as low, high, low, high, low. We have a small zone resting on top, resting below a bigger zone. Do not take into account this. This is not a real breaker structure. It's just going to provide liquidity. Okay, you're going to look for a short below this high. You're going to get stopped out. You're then going to think it's a market structure shift, but we're just coming into this zone and then we're going to get the room below. So you're going to get stopped out twice because you took too much, you put too much weight in the small zone and you should have ignored it. Now let's talk about premium and discount because that's the other little trick we can use. So again, we'll start with an uptrend. So what you want to do is find your leg of price. This here, okay, is my price leg. I can then draw a fib from this low to this high. So boom. Okay, and to make it easier for you guys to see, I'll turn on the 0 and 1 lines as well. And this blue line is just the 50%. You can see price did not return to premium, or at least very close to premium, before bouncing. So this zone here, okay, don't include it in your new structure. Wait for price to come mitigate it. This leg was still left unmitigated. We still haven't come down to this price leg. We still haven't come down to this zone here. Okay, this is where price will tap into and then get the real, apologies, the real move. So make sure you take and keep an eye on your mitigated and unmitigated legs. For example, again, let's start with a big breaker structure here. We can draw a fib from here to here. Did price come back into this range? No. Price does want to come back into the range. So what we're going to do, boom. Okay, now we can draw the fib from here to here. And we can see that this is in premium and we are sweeping that. So when you combine sweeping the small zones and combine with returning to premium and discount areas, you see exactly how the market moves. And you see that this was just a sweep. Fake out those who think this is real structure, get the real move. And the real structure is based on this leg here. My real structure is low, high, low, high, lower low. We ignore this because it was a small zone and we knew there was an unmitigated price leg above. Still sounds complicated. Let's go into the charts and let's sharpen it down. Okay, let's start with this. This works the same on any chart, any time frame. Ignore what the chart name is, ignore what the time frame is. When you're drawing structure, it's fractal, it's going to work the same. Before we get into examples, if you want to go deeper into market structure and how to pair that with the correct liquidity and supply and demand zones, I break it all down in my premium Discord step by step, which we live stream my trading every day, daily market reviews and breakdowns showing you exactly how structure works in your day-to-day trading. Link is in the description below. Come join us for the next live stream. Anyways, back to this now. So let's just focus on this price leg here. Let's just say we're in a downtrend to keep it simple between this high and currently we have this low. Let's say before you were using this low. So let's even rewind it to here. Interesting. Now let's draw our fib from the top to the bottom. What do we notice? We have not come to mitigate this area. All of this is still fresh. So we're looking for a sell really above this blue line. Okay, we did not get that. So now we got a small zone resting below, right? Remember, we didn't mitigate this leg. So this is still unmitigated. And we've created a small zone now. What a lot of people are going to make the mistake. They're going to start looking to use this as their protected high. That's wrong. They're going to get faked out. We then, again, so now we extend our leg from this high to this low. And look at that. This liquidity matches with our premium. Boom. Now I can start looking for supply zones above. This is my real protected high. We have this area of supply, which is nice and fresh. And we have this area of supply. So to keep it simple, I just mark that whole area. And I'd look for price to sweep this. And then continue the next leg lower. Let's see what we do. We sweep liquidity. We return to our area of supply. And we make that low. What do we do here? We fake out. We know that's not real structure. So now our next structural point is this high. So this low to this high. And then what do? We candle close there. And we make a high up here. And I'll make this a bit darker so it's easier to see. Okay, now we do the same thing. First thing we're going to do is draw our fib. Look for areas of premium. So only look for sells above this blue line. We've got this nice area of supply here. We've got this nice origin here. I've got multiple videos on how I find my areas of supply, demand, etc. So this is just structure. This one has a nice liquidity. This one doesn't really have liquidity, so I'd focus on this one here, with this being my liquidity within my first zone. So we have the real structure, we have the premium, we have the liquidity sweep, we have an area of supply. I'm expecting something like that. This is just one after the other, after the other. We sweep that, we come to mitigate that supply. Let's see if we're going to make a new low. Of course we are. Boom. Now, let's redraw it. Low, high, low. Guess what? We're going to rinse and repeat. We have a new leg there, a new low, a new high. Let's draw that fib out again. Boom. Let's look for areas of interest. So we have this origin that we're looking at, and we have this is all mitigated. I'd focus on this leg, which is unmitigated. So I want us to sweep this. I want to sweep this, come to this discount. Right, we have some liquidity in terms of these highs. Because this is my real structure. This is what I'm expecting price to respect and disrespect. Okay, now what do? We form a little small zone here, generating more liquidity. People are going to see this as a market structure shift, but this didn't mitigate any of this zone. Way too far below, right? It's a small zone. Look how small this zone is. This down to up compared to this down to up here. Resting within a bigger zone. We know what this is just going to be our liquidity now to sweep, stop out everyone who starts looking for buys. Then they're going to start looking for sales. They're all over the gaff. We're just waiting for this to sweep, come into here and then dump. That. And then make a lower low. And guess what? Even though it wicked, it made a lower low. And that is the game that you enter, you take profit, you're done. That makes sense? And now let's go into some uptrend examples. So let's start here. Again, any time frame, any chart works the same. We have a high, we have broken this high, we have a low. We have an uptrend, we have our external range. Let's draw our fib, boom, boom. We're looking for sells below this blue line, and you can see we have this beautiful area of demand aligning with that. We don't really have much liquidity, but let's see what price does. Comes into there. I'm expecting now to make the higher high. Boom. Right? Simple stuff. Let's play this out. Now we know at least we've mitigated this leg 50%. So when we look at this structural here, right? In this scenario, I would still look between this low and this high. Why, you might ask? Purely because this area of demand is still very unmitigated. Right? It's still fresh, so we could still now just use this as liquidity to sweep before pushing higher. So, but because we mitigated this leg, right, 50%, I draw my zone, 50%, I can still focus on this price leg here between this high and this low, right? But if this gets swept, I'd still look for a buy, I'll be honest, based on this. And now let's draw my fib from here to here, 50%. Nice, we've got some area of demand in here. Let's see if we can tap into there. Push higher. Nice, we tap into there. Again, this small little zones. Alright. We don't pay any attention, right? So it's liquidity to generate to come into here. And then we should come push higher. Let's see. Come to mitigate this further. It'll be interesting to see if we do come down to actually. Okay, nice. So we have come down into this zone, which said I don't want to look for buys yet. I want to, no, not look for buys. I still look for this zone as well. Still bullish until this breaks. So keeps us on the right side of market structure. That's taken a long time. Let's see if we can come back. Take this high. Play it out just on a higher time frame. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then we can now redo it. New break. New low. All right, we've got a big price leg from here to here. This is a big zone. That's on the market. Do we have any zones resting around this 50%? We've got this lovely area of demand. Let's focus on this one for now, and then we can look to ones lower. But this is within the price leg. We have these small zones. Well, that we're not just going to provide liquidity, come into here, and then get the real moves. Let's play that out. Look at that. We came right into this leg. We pushed a bit higher, so pretty much came exactly to 50%. I'm assuming. Yeah, look, boom, pretty much exactly. Swept the first tap in this demand zone. Right. There's our sweep. And then what? Next leg higher. And it's just rinse and repeat. So yeah, stop letting the market play you. Learn how it actually works, and you're good to go. So if you do want to join the premium Discord, like I said, links in the description below. Apart from that, appreciate your time. Highly appreciate any likes and subscribes. Drop a comments on any questions you have or any video you want me to drop, and I'll catch you in the next video.